It was Friday, May 24th, 1991. Folk icon Bob Dylan celebrates his 50th birthday. Mariah Carey's I Don't Want to Cry is the #1 song in America. Roseanne is the top-rated show. The Pittsburgh Penguins are about to win their first Stanley Cup. Time magazine publishes an article exposing Scientology, but no one will heed the warning, and a little movie called Backdraft opens in theaters.
Okay, hear me out. Check it. Imagine two brothers played by Kurt Russell and William Baldwin because they look related, right? They are firefighters from a family of firefighters. One brother, Kurt, lives his life like the fire he fights, reckless and a danger to be around. Even his family won't go near him. The other brother, William, also lives his life like fire, but more like wind, bouncing around jobs whichever way they blow, until he finds himself back at the firehouse with his brother, who, like fire, they have conflict, butting heads, which leads to brother William to leave yet again, only this time into the reluctant arms of a renowned arson investigator, played by none other than Robert De Niro. Together they uncover the truth behind the biggest serial pyromaniac the city has ever seen. Everyone finds themselves skating on thin ice when city council starts breathing down their necks with budget cuts. Will the killer be caught in time before the whole city goes up in flames? You tell me.
Man, he just gave you the keys after that, huh?
Oh, goodness. Oh. That elevator shut its doors like as soon as you started talking.
Going down.
Going down.
Yeah.
I just picture him standing in front of the door where it won't close, and the guy's like, he won't get out of the way.
Yeah.
Elevator
Did you say
starts
William
moving.
Baldwin? Get the fuck out of here.
They look related, right?
Yeah.
He looks like his mama, and Kurt Russell looks like his daddy.
I didn't do any research on this.
Get it? Did anyone
I didn't
watch
do
the
any
movie?
research on the movie. Did they try to get Alec in this movie?
No.
Russell?
Dude, all right. So I did a little bit of research on the casting, and like Keanu Reeves read for this part, Brad Pitt read for it, but Ron Howard really wanted William Baldwin to play Kurt Russell's brother because he thought they looked like brothers.
No,
This was back in the day when Ron Howard was like addicted to huffing glue, though. So that makes a little
Come
bit
on,
of sense.
Opie.
That plays Opie.
Yeah. No, that was Clint. That was Clint Howard. This is Ron Howard.
Man.
I'm glad you made me watch this movie again. It's been a very long time since I've seen it. And the best thing about this movie is that it's kind of two movies, and neither one of them are very good.
Yeah, I was like, I've never seen this movie before. The bits and pieces, I heard a lot of good things about it. But then I was watching it and I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Why is there two different movies halfway through?
It's like you're changing the channel every few minutes. It's like, wait a minute. All right, all of a sudden they're fucking, but this guy's doing a workout montage. Like, what's happening here? Why is this going on at the same time?
Yeah, it had that like a low budget feel, but it was also kind of high budget.
Yeah, you saying low budget? So
I mean the writer and the editor.
Yeah, what I remember most about this movie when I was a kid is I always thought it was like a made for TV by TNT. Because it was on TNT like all the time.
Yeah. That's where I first saw it. Was on free whatever TV station it was on. I had never like actually watched it other than with commercials until just a little bit ago.
But you imagine like how long it took. It's a 2-hour movie, although it feels like you watched 4 hours, like two different movies. Imagine watching it on TNT back in the 90s, and this thing like lasting all day. Came on at noon and didn't stop till dinner time.
Like a terrible baseball game.
Or like Martin Scorsese.
I don't know. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was fantastic.
No, I thought this thing was action from the opening scene until the end. With the love story sandwiched in there. Had everything.
You know what I just found out a few minutes ago doing a little bit of research? The kid who played Tim, William Baldwin's friend, that wasn't Ralph Macchio. Did you know that? It's not Ralph Macchio. It's some other guy.
You talking about the guy that got burned?
Yeah,
The one that got burned up?
to death. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Spoiler alert, dude died. But
Oh, we were. Oh,
so like you remember this movie having Ralph Macchio in it?
No, I was watching the movie thinking that's Ralph Macchio, right? And it's not. It's some other guy.
No, that's Iron Eagle. That's Iron Eagle. Jason Greg.
Straight up
What?
Iron
Straight
Eagle.
up. Iron Eagle.
Huh?
Hey, whoa, hold up there, Chief. Where's the fire? Before we start kicking in every door on the 5th floor, let's tell the nice people at home about the podcast. Hi, and welcome in to Feature Presentations, a movie podcast about movies, part of the Pirate Radio Network. Each week, one of the rounders chooses a movie that we all have to watch. You'll pick up on the rest from there. And now, here's your feature presentation on Backdraft. But first, please like, rate, subscribe, and leave a comment wherever you watch your podcast. Most importantly, tell your friends about us. Watch? Hold on. Watch? That's right, we are on YouTube as well. Plus, Spotify also does video. One last thing, if you like what we're doing here and want to help us grow, join the Brew Crew. Links in the description. We got cool stuff planned, like giveaways and maybe a watch party, I don't know. I'll have to take a look at the budget. Anyway, enough of that. Back to the show. But anyway, that's what I'll remember most about this movie. I thought it was like a made-for-TV TNT original movie. Like TNT, like put out all the stops or however you want to say that. Just dumped so much money. Like, we're going to do a movie, guys, and we're going to play the mess out of it for years. And like, we're going to get the best of the best. We're going to get Ron Howard to direct, you know? And turned out it was just a regular movie that went into theaters. And I don't know how well it did in theaters, but it did. It played quite a while on TNT. It made its money back at TNT, I'll tell you that.
I vaguely recall when I was a kid going to like Six Flags or something like that, and them having one of those like the
set,
stage
the
shows,
backlot set pieces. Yeah.
I vaguely recall seeing something like that when I was a kid, but I could be entirely wrong about that.
When I was a kid, I remember just the fire and how scary it was. That was the scariest damn movie fire I've ever seen. It was his own character.
Yeah. Put that on the box art.
Yeah.
No, I think they really pushed for that because here's a little fun fact. Is that this thing was up for some Oscars, 3 of them to be exact.
The fire won an Oscar?
Because of the fire.
Okay.
It was up for like 3
Best
Oscars.
Fire.
And it lost.
Fire.
best fire.
Best supporting fire.
And it lost. It lost
fire.
Lost Best Fire. Yeah.
It lost quite understandably to Terminator 2, that apparently had a better fire when they blew up the world.
I got you.
But
a chain link fence.
I will say, this movie has a lot of first for the feature presentations podcast. It has our first montage. So we did Demolition Man for episode 1, and it didn't really have a true montage in it. This one had a true training montage with music and goofy scenes and everything that a montage should.
I was going to say it should have a lot of first for our podcast because this is the 2nd episode. So like,
yeah. I thought we would have hit
this movie did.
The inaugural.
The first one didn't.
Yeah, but I thought we'd hit a montage movie 1. Somehow we dodged that one.
We skipped over it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Also, our first Robert De Niro movie.
Demolition Man had a montage. It was Dennis Leary in the sewers, but they edited it out. So
it was his rant. That was a montage.
Yeah.
We didn't go over the deleted scenes. That's our fault.
I guess we razz this movie enough. Let's cheer it up. Let's talk about the best of the movie. Starting with PJ. I know you loved it. What was the best?
Like my favorite scene or just the best part?
Yeah, what do you like most about this movie?
Bro, the action right off the bat, boom, fire, dad dies. The thing that kind of bothered me though is how they're poking around in that ceiling at the beginning, hitting a gas line in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Kind of throws it
I-
out there, but yeah, I just love. I kind of like fired by myself, honestly. Kind of a pyromaniac in a way.
You get kicked out of school because of that.
So the movie's just right up my alley. And then Donald Sutherland. Anytime you get a Sutherland in a movie and he's just kind of like steals everything that he's in, gotta love it, man. I love it.
You got Donald Sutherland getting turned loose to play a character he would never be able to play in any other movie. That's what really got you going for this one.
Oh yeah, love me a Sutherland, man.
All right, Mark, favorite part about this movie?
Well, like I was saying earlier, the fire and the set pieces. What Evan was saying about a movie backlot thing, just you don't see that kind of practical effects and then jumping through a warehouse and the control of the fire. That's what I liked. There's nonstop action.
Nice.
That's
Coach, what do you like?
Yeah, I'd have to piggyback on everybody else's. Like the as far as like seeing it for the first time in 2023, like the thing that kind of stood out most to me was the special effects, the practical effects. I guess there was a little bit of CGI, if like, and I don't know how much like CGI you could have gotten out of 1991 technology, but
I mean, Terminator 2 came out,
I mean Terminator 2, yeah, but I don't know how much the budget was for.
but this is Ron Howard.
Yeah, I don't know how much budget Ron Howard had in this backdraft, but I really like the effects and like it looked real and like all the also set pieces, like the first fire scene at the I guess the fabric factory and then the chemical one.
Yeah, they had a lot of practical with the fires and stuff, like
Yeah,
controlling
the practical effects.
But the digital that I know of is the door. When the two brothers run up into the building and Bull doesn't want to wait on backup,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's brave and he goes in, but Brian, typical Brian, wusses out.
He finally broke Brian.
But you see that door and you can tell the fire's behind it, and it's kind of got this little swelling motion to
Yeah.
it. That was a digital effect. And then at the end when Brian, I guess, like conquered his past and got to be the firefighter like his daddy, like he always wanted to be, and started fighting the fire by himself, there was some mix of practical and digital fire there. When the fire came alive and talked like a beast.
Can we confirm that Kurt Russell's cheatgasm is not CGI?
Yes.
It's gotta be just method acting. He went to a camp and learned how to do that because that is amazing stuff.
Nobody shakes jowls like Russell. Like that's a little trait that like not every actor can do. You don't see, I don't see anybody of the newer crowd doing that, but like Tom Cruise always has this weird like jaw flex. Like dude just practices flexing his jaw and he's like, well, I can't do much emotion, so I'll just put it all in tension in my jaw, and that's how they'll know I'm processing my thoughts.
I'm acting.
But Kurt Russell,
I'm really thinking.
yeah, like Kurt Russell really put some effort into shaking his face. I'll tell you that.
Stallone can't do it because of the lazy lip.
Yep.
But didn't he
That's
get
not really fair.
grabbed on the way out
He's full of
when he was
Botox
being
now.
born? Like part of Stallone's face is paralyzed because he got pulled out of his mom, and that thing like got him.
Damn.
Am I right on that?
Yeah.
The tongs?
The tongs got him.
The salad tongs? Damn. I think it's the Botox.
All right. Did we get to Evan? Evan, did you get to say your favorite part of the movie?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I did or not. There's just a lot that I like about this movie. Man, a lot of my favorite parts of this movie are just individual scenes. It's less of like a whole thing that I love about it. There's just so many little parts of this that I think are fantastic, and I don't want to go through all of them right now. They're just I love a terrible movie, and this is
Fireman shower scenes.
yeah,
Shower
that's what
scenes.
I loved seeing Scott Glenn's naked wet back.
With that weird little plug, the socket plug.
The
on
electrical
it.
socket. I don't think that's how burns
the big
work, but
reveal.
okay.
And that's how he
Yeah.
knew. That's how he knew that was the one. It was
I
you.
have a question.
Yeah. What's your question?
Okay, so at the end of the movie, they're like, there are 1.2 million active firefighters. Is America's infrastructure that bad that there's that many damn fires?
I was also wondering that
Is
because
this like
in
Chicago
this movie,
16th century
constantly under
China?
fire.
it made it seem
Like-
like in Chicago, 75% of the
Everything's
population
on
is a
fire.
Like
Yeah.
they're all at the end in the parade. The whole town
Yeah.
was marching behind
Yeah,
those two trucks.
that was an insane parade. That was gonna like when we got into like just question everything. I was gonna question like, did like the whole world celebrate this Lieutenant McCaffrey?
I think it's the electricians are so bad, they're wiring these buildings so terrible, and everything's just catching on fire.
Yeah.
It's important to
if
bring
you-
awareness to that.
Exactly. I'm like, why is everything on fire?
Because there was a pyromaniac going around setting them on fire. He's wearing accidents, Mark.
Did you even watch the movie?
Did you watch the movie?
I mean, I did, but there were other accidents that weren't, it was just,
No. Every fire in the movie was set.
Somebody's circuit breaker wasn't up to code.
It was set on fire on purpose. Like there's
a whole montage.
There's a whole montage about this, man. Explained everything.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just talking about the other fires. Not every fire was set by that guy on purpose. He's like,
Yeah, every fire was set on purpose in that movie.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Take that to the grave. But
next question.
Yeah, man, like
moving on.
That jumped into the question everything part of the podcast, but we had to get to like the worst. Like
what's the worst?
Alec Baldwin and anything that came out of his face.
What was like the worst scene to the movie, or just
Alec Baldwin's face holes making noises?
All right, Alec Baldwin just existing, or William Baldwin.
His performance wasn't. I think his performance wasn't that bad. I don't know what movie Jennifer Jason Leigh's in, but I like.
She was in Fast Times.
Yeah. I'm talking about like her acting in this movie. I know she's a good actress.
Yeah.
But,
no, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good actress. I've seen her in good stuff. I don't know what this performance was with her. I think she was
the worst part of Jennifer Jason Leigh's entire performance is when they're fucking on the fire truck. I have never seen somebody less into their sex scene in my entire life. He might as well have just been fucking the hoses. She looked so bored.
Like,
she was not into it.
I was
very generic.
Just dead fish.
Yeah. I was gonna bring that up, and I was like, she's like, well, I don't know how to act out. Like we've had sex before, and we're getting into more sex. I only know how to act out. I'm losing my virginity.
Yes, absolutely that.
It looked like any movie where the couple's having sex for the first time, they're both virgins. That's what it looked like. It's that we know from the ones of us who paid attention to the story that these people used to date and sleep with each other, and probably slept with other people too. So this is not the first time they've had sex.
Oh, yeah, he's a Baldwin. Of course he has.
Yeah.
And she's an actress.
He's a McCaffrey.
But he's no Stephen Baldwin.
He's a McCaffrey in this movie.
Yeah, he's a McCaffrey.
I also, because I'm a little bit stupid, I was just a bit confused when Kurt Russell played his dad and his son in the movie. At the beginning, his dad dies, and then the next scene you see him, and you're like, oh, so his dad didn't die? Oh, I see. I get it now. Just for a minute there, I felt like a moron, and I hate this movie for making me feel that way.
I never got confused by that, but my wife watched it with me, and that was the first time she saw it. She said, "Wait, so he didn't die?" I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
it's just Kurt Russell playing both roles."
It's his son. I immediately got it, but I'm like, you guys didn't have an extra $20,000 to just get another guy to play the dad. It's got to be Kurt for both.
Not even that much. They could have got it for $2,000. $2,000.
Yeah.
They could have got a guy.
Hey, they should have called me up. I was 3 years old. I would have played a hell of a firefighter.
But you had to have a mustache.
Yeah.
To make so you knew that you were the dad.
But,
You had
hey,
to have the mustache.
Kurt didn't actually grow that
Let's
mustache.
just put a mustache on him. Nobody will notice.
That's literally what Ron Howard did. That's what he did.
I think that's probably the worst part of this movie is that there's not enough mustaches.
That's
It's
true.
a firehouse movie.
That is true. There should have been a lot more.
There should have been way more mustaches.
It's 1991.
91 firefighters.
You know what? I think if this movie was made in 88, maybe even 89, there'd probably been more mustaches. But with the whole Folger Crystals Firehouse commercial and everything, the movie world had to tone down the mustache.
Yeah.
There's too much man on the screen.
No homoerotic volleyball scene, like Top Gun volleyball. You wanted that? Is that what you wanted?
Why not? It would have
At
made
least
for
one of the firefighters had a.
It would have put
prominent
seats. It would put a. It would have sold tickets.
They probably would have won that Oscar.
Yeah.
Shoot, give Bobby De Niro a mustache.
Yeah.
For the remake.
I'm like trying to think in my head, did he not have a mustache?
Yeah, like in my memory, it doesn't matter if he had one or not. He was just going to have one.
He did not.
You're thinking of Copland. He had one in Copland.
Did he? I hope so.
Yeah.
When we go and watch that one and he doesn't have one, I'm going to be like, your memory just puts one on Bobby D.
Bobby D.
But yeah, that was going to be my worst of it was having Kurt Russell play the dad and the son, and that was like a interesting decision there. I guess they wanted to show how much Stefan was like his dad. Maybe I don't know the reasoning behind doing it.
It seemed lazy, and I didn't like it. If I had to say the worst part of the movie, though, is at the very end, they set up for Kurt Russell and whatever that guy's name is, Scott Glenn, to have an axe fight, and then they don't have an axe fight.
Yeah.
Why isn't there a fucking axe fight in that movie?
That broaches the question: why go have a conversation on top of a burning building?
Yeah. But can we talk
Hey,
about
let's go
this in
talk.
10 minutes?
Hey, come here. Let's go talk. Oh, and then the whole building collapses onto and like you think he's about to fight, and then he crumples to the ground on the scaffolding, and then just apparently dies.
He's killing fire.
Yeah.
And it was that was some bad practical effect when that dummy fell into the fire.
I literally wrote axe versus bull, axe fight, and then I scratched it out because there was no axe fight.
There was gonna be an axe fight.
Guy's name is Axe.
In the first draft of Backdraft, there was a fucking axe fight. I guarantee it.
The guy's name was Axe.
Yeah,
his name's Axe. He's gonna get an axe fight, and his axe fight got axed.
What are you doing, Ronnie?
Live by the axe, die by the axe.
There's layers to this shit.
Y'all are making me hate this movie, and I love this movie.
Hey, no, everything I'm saying is absolutely a positive and a negative at the same time because I love shitty movies.
The irony not have an axe fight.
There's a lot of good just question everythings with this movie. My first one is everybody's wanting to smoke cigarettes. I've never seen so many people just jonesing for a cigarette in this movie.
In a burning building.
Yeah, in a burning building.
All fire.
The 90s, man. Cool guys smoked. That's just how it was.
Yeah.
And no one wore masks. Hardly ever.
Yeah,
Save your oxygen.
Emily was watching it with me, and that's
you
what
would
she said.
asphyxiate. You would asphyxiate halfway through the. Anyway,
She asked me, she's like, "Why is nobody wearing masks?" And I was like, "Well, because fucking obviously Kurt Russell had it in his contract that he's gonna have
Yeah.
his face all over this shit. And
gotta
that's
have the
just the
hero
way of
moment.
it. Yeah.
Told
My
you how to
question,
breathe smoke.
Save
Yeah.
your options.
Yeah,
my
just
question,
him.
everything, in the museum scene when they're going up to find the fire in that museum, they ride the elevator up. That's like the first rule of fires in
You
a
don't ever
building.
do
is
that.
They
You
didn't have
don't
those rules in the 90s.
okay.
You take the stairs.
Yeah.
Take the stairs. You
Elevator
don't
goes
take
way
the elevator.
faster than steps, man.
if you watch when they're doing it, you can tell, like, so there was that guy there that told him to take the elevator, and you could just like see on everybody's faces they might as well been in like one of those little boats to take you to the beach in Normandy during D-Day. Like, this is a bad idea, right, guys? This
Stupid.
is pretty bad.
Pretty sure this is a bad idea. Pretty sure we're not supposed to do this.
How
Well,
will
if
you
the-
know when you see it find the fire? It'll be hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was literally a line in the movie.
Yeah, if the door's open, when the door is open, if it's hot, don't step out. Good Lord. All right, so that was a question, everything I had. My other one is
I have another question. Sorry.
All right, go ahead, do your question.
How did Scott Glenn create the backdraft?
Again, did you not?
Yeah, I watched it, but they kind of glazed over it. I know he's hiding the chemicals in his boat.
Yeah, he hides the chemicals in the buildings. He starts the electrical fire, and
Gotcha.
he
Okay.
shuts a door so that what happens is the fire starts, but as soon as that door opens, it sends that
he
gust of air in, and then it explodes.
Didn't do okay, but he did okay, and then that's one of the gas. Okay, I got you.
Robert De Niro had a 10-minute scene explaining this.
Mm-hmm. And he
I
set
was
the
in the
museum back on
bathroom.
fire. That's how he taught him. That's how he taught William
Oh,
Baldwin. He was
that's
like,
what he was
"Hey, check
doing?
this out.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he
set
told
this
him, hey,
fucking
open that
sit
lid.
back on."
He was
Open that lid.
talking about like,
Open that
hey,
trash can.
hey, the fire's gonna do what the fire's gonna do. When you smell the heat coming around the corner, you need to leave. I don't. I can feel the
all right.
heat.
My other question to y'all is like, at what point in the movie did it dawn on you that the McCaffrey brothers aren't that bright? Like, they're not smart guys.
The second they went to Donald Sutherland for help.
The second they went to Donald Sutherland for help.
Yeah, the second they went to Donald Sutherland for help. It's like Clover Valley, Hannibal Lecter.
I was just about to say that. He's a Hannibal Lecter of fires.
Probably.
He's Hannibal Lecter Firebug. He's a Firebug Hannibal Lecter.
I immediately wanted to see Donald Sutherland as Hannibal Lecter.
Okay.
Old Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Coach, you got a note on that?
I think it was probably the fact that their dad died in a fire and now they're both trying to be firemen. I mean, that's kind of dumb, right? Like,
Pretty stupid.
yeah, that's
No, it's one of the oldest stories of man. The
Yeah.
history of revenge.
Gotta
I'm going to
get that
kill the
fire
fire that killed my paw. It's just tale as old as
That
time.
or the fireman's ball where Kurt Russell gets drunk as hell and beats up on his ex-wife's boyfriend.
Yeah,
That
that
is
was
pretty good.
Yeah,
That
Okay,
is
that's
good
gonna be
TV.
part of my favorite scene. So skip
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was probably one of my favorite scenes too.
Yeah. That's reality. It's reality
Yeah.
sets in.
I just want to talk to you a second.
Bro, the three going back for more was just amazing. Because I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good.
Let's get a drink.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Let's go get a drink. Let's go get a
Let's
drink.
just get a drink. We just want to get a drink.
You ever wonder why you're still lieutenant?
Jeez, Bull. Yeah, right. Lieutenant for life. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, I love how bold. It's like, dude, I
It
forgot about
dawns
this.
on him like, what?
No, it dawns on him, and he just goes, "No, I don't
and
ever
then,
wonder about that."
and then starts
Yeah.
another fight. I'm gonna
my
get
God.
kicked out of this no matter what.
I'm an asshole.
Because he's not that bright.
Yeah, one of the things I love
Yeah.
about this movie is just watching the progression of Bull and like just how he like it just slowly grows on him, like how I guess his life has ended up to where it is and stuff, and it's just like this dude is just it's just now sinking in for him kind of thing. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. You kind of have to just watch the movie, but
Sure.
like the guy just like
I
he's
mean, you're
just
right.
slowly realizing like nobody
'Cause-
no the reason why he lost his family, the reason why like he's losing control of his
Right, because at the beginning
house.
of the movie, he shits all over his brother. He's like, "Ah, you're such a fuck up. You've had all these career. You were a director." So, they're shitting all over him for having a lot of experiences. And then it's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" "I live on a boat." You know, like,
Yeah, it
live
turns
in
out
a
he's the fuck up.
boat.
Literally
Yeah.
disowned by my family.
Yeah.
I just have in my notes, Bull is a madman, and that accent. It took me a second to realize that this was in Chicago. For a second, I guess I didn't realize. I was like, "Wait, is this in where is this taking place? Is it Boston? Is it New York? No, it's in Chicago."
Yeah,
Dang, that's not how Kurt Russell talks.
I could tell that it was Chicago because there was the big fat firefighter. You don't see a whole lot of fat firefighters unless you're in a place like Chicago. Just one of those things.
Oh, you
I
mean
knew it
that
was
guy?
Chicago because all of their uniforms said Chicago on there.
Oh, look at you and your fucking ability to read.
Precinct 17.
Didn't watch Nero's explanation of the backdraft, but
Yeah,
I was
yeah, but you read
mesmerized by the
jacket.
fire. Okay, and I had to go to the bathroom.
3-hour fire scene.
I got a ton more questions, but I want to hear some of y'all's.
Oh,
Did anybody
God.
else notice? Did anybody else notice at the beginning of the movie when they're celebrating, like getting out of the academy, that the beer taps were blurred out?
I didn't see that.
No, I did not.
Yeah,
They didn't want to pay that money.
watch. Yeah, I
You
guess
wanted
they
to
didn't
see
want
that
to
in movie.
pay Amstel Light and Stella 12.
I am still light.
Okay, those weren't owned by Bud Light.
You knew
yet.
the tap was
Yeah.
Amstel Light. It just didn't say
Yeah.
Amstel
Yeah,
Light.
it was just
But-
it was literally all blurred out. I guess they didn't have
Okay.
the license.
Yeah, they
I
didn't have a
wanna
license for
know-
that.
I want to know at the beginning of the movie, where the fuck did that photographer come from so quickly? And how come his first reaction was, "Hey, look at the sad kid. Here we go."
He was focused in on that sad kid for sure.
Yeah,
That's how you win
yeah.
awards, Evan.
That
But
Life
also-
Life magazine cover was.
It bugs me. The Life magazine cover bugs me on just a purely technical standpoint because that picture could not have been taken by the photographer on the street. It was a crane shot. It was up above him looking down on the kid. That was a still frame from the movie camera, not the fucking photographer in the street. Explain that, Ron Howard.
Nah, trade secret. That's a trade secret. That's why
Trade
he won the
He did a
Pulitzer
pattern.
and you didn't. Yeah.
Hey, fireman, can I use this ladder real quick? I got to get this shot.
You got to get this
Look at-
kid before he quits
Look at that
crying.
sad kid. Hey, you know how your buddy
Yeah.
just died? That's his kid. Let me get on the ladder and take a picture of it.
Oh shit, he's holding his dad's helmet. I gotta get this on film.
I gotta get this shot. You can hang it up in your favorite bar later.
Hey, Axe, give him the helmet. Give him the helmet. Cry a little bit more, please.
But
And then Donald Sutherland sent away for a copy of it to fuck
Yeah.
with him later.
Yeah.
Act, you know,
because that
Hannibal
was
Lecter shit.
something I was gonna bring up was like Donald Sutherland killed their dad, didn't he?
yeah, and he's not
Yeah.
that mad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, how are you not
But-
more pissed off about that?
And that goes back to the McCaffreys are dumb.
Yeah.
It-
He didn't
it-
realize it.
He never sunk in for it.
He didn't put two and two together.
Like Donald Sutherland was trying to tell you, like, I killed your dad. I burned.
He
your
did
dad up."
everything but say,
Yeah.
"I killed your dad."
Yeah, and he couldn't pick up on that.
They're
He's
not
just
very
like,
smart.
Just tell me who the killer is.
They're not very smart. And Steven passed it on to his kid. I don't know if you remember the scene where his kid's trying to make his mom breakfast, but eggshells and grape jelly. Sorry, Mom, your kid's
Eat it. I love you. Eat it. But they got blue eyes and they can fight fire.
Hey, little buddy, what's your name? Chicken Nugget.
Oh my god.
kid was like 8 years old. Are you kidding me?
You got, speaking of love scenes, you got two love scenes. Which one
Two?
was the better one?
Call
Rebecca
it the
De Mornay
McCaffrey
and Kurt.
special.
I
The
think
McCaffrey.
Neither.
I think-
I think Rebecca and Kurt took this one.
the one in the one in the twin bed with Kurt Russell, way better than the fire truck scene.
Yeah.
Well, the Brian McCaffrey special was your atypical. What do you call that movie trope where it's like, oh, we reconnected. I want to share some little information about you or about myself to you and stuff. Like the
Yeah.
guy tells the girl something about themselves, and it's like, oh yeah, oh you're a special person. Let's do it.
Let's
Yeah.
get
Is
on
that
top
all
of
it
this.
takes? Damn.
Yeah, that's all it takes. You talk about
It's like,
yourself, and then you listen to them retort, and then you get
I had the vibe
You're
of
naked.
like, Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler inside
Yeah, a
the
little
jet
bit of that.
engine, but instead they're on
Yeah.
top of the fire truck.
yeah.
Like
They had to
instead of
hit that
animal
scene.
crackers, Yeah.
But yeah, it was
That's
that like
the vibe I got.
Yeah, that was another little movie trope thing I was going to get at was like, so you got the what's going to be come to be known as the McCaffrey special is where you go and you talk to the girl and have that little I shared something about myself and then we do it. But then like sex scenes that like just most people just don't do in regular sex. Like, let me spend about an hour kissing your stomach.
Let me take you to my job, show you around.
Yeah.
This ain't even my firehouse. I didn't even work here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I honestly at first thought he just went into a random firehouse until he pointed
Yeah.
out his office. Straight up.
My office
Take you
over
to my
there.
job.
Oh, it's over there. Hey, get up here and suck on my nipples for a little bit.
But first, let me do some product placement of this Bud Light can. Never said I was a good fireman. No.
I'm really a telemarketer. These are the phones. This is where I call the people.
Oh man. Any more investigative questions there, Coach?
Nah, I'm trying to think. Was Bobby D good at his job? I think he was. I think he did a good
No,
job.
absolutely not. He was behind. He was behind on deadlines. I mean, he couldn't get those reports turned in.
I would absolutely.
Did we need more Bobby De Niro?
I would say we needed more of him. 100% we needed more of him. One of his best performances here. The scene where he gets blown out of that house and gets his shoulder impaled and he's all like, "Hey kid, I think I got a problem here."
Yeah.
I like.
I was gonna
love it.
I was gonna
I love how he
nominate
just
that
leaves
for
Brian on the steps, like right where the house is black.
Yeah.
I'll just leave you right in front of the door. You'll be fine.
This is far enough away. You're fucking
Yeah.
shoelace
His
length
house
away.
is gonna blow up. Just get over here.
and the guy that was the most okay was Brian.
He was the closest.
I just went right over him.
But yeah, I was gonna nominate that for the Simon Phoenix
The one-liner.
Yeah.
That's probably got my
kid,
vote, I think.
I
Hey
think so,
kid, I
too.
got a problem here. Awesome.
Got a problem here.
All right, so questions about Shadow, Don Ringdale or whatever his name was. I can't remember his last name, but when you first like really get introduced to him, and Brian goes to his office to accept the job or let him know that I'm going to be your partner and stuff. Brian gets to kind of like look over his office waiting, and you see all these like I can't remember if it was like Aboriginal or African clan idols and stuff.
Burn up
you
baby
remember
dolls, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. You remember seeing all
Yeah.
that stuff? Like
Yeah.
not quite voodoo dolls, but just kind of like De Niro.
It's all like toys and stuff like that. That reminds him of. Like,
Well, he took it to the court date. Remember that?
yeah, one of them. Yeah.
Donald Sutherland's court date. I feel like it was kind of a superficial tangent that they didn't really flesh out, and they could have done more with it. So you didn't really invest. I didn't get invested in it as much as you could have if they would have done a little bit more with it.
What this interest of
Bob,
Shadow?
the whole De Niro forensic arsonist kind of Donald Sutherland thing.
The whodunit, the
I feel like
investigative part, the like detective.
Yeah, they could have added about
yeah.
5 or 10 more minutes of that, and I felt it would have brought it closer into the story and not make it feel like a tangent. Personally,
Yeah,
Kind of like
I
a
don't know.
yeah, 'cause-
flashback of him getting blown up.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he's covered. They say, yeah, he's covered in burns, but you don't ever see him, or no, they don't ever, you know.
Well, you do see him when he's like changing his shirt for no damn reason.
Yeah.
In between
Yeah.
meetings.
Because
Yeah,
they gotta
Baldwin
have
keep an eye on.
expedition. Like, hey, he has history with fire before. Like, he's been burned before, literally.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So Donnie, are you asking about these masks that they had like in his office, and there's just no
Yeah, like
backstory
so.
to them, like
What I
no
was thinking
character
was
development?
this weird character development they don't
That's what I'm
really
saying.
go into. It was beyond like so that little doll that he took to the parole hearing was different from what was in the office. His whole office was decorated with all these tribal stuff, and I'm just wondering if like Ron Howard decided like to appease the actors, like, okay, Donald Sutherland, you be as creepy as you want to be in this one. We're not gonna hold you down. You do whatever you want. And then Robert Niro was like, man, I really think my character should have African stuff in here for whatever
You really
reason
think
that
it's
we're not going to
just-
explain.
It's just part of the whole thing that we're saying about how it's two movies that are just kind of one movie. You know what I mean? Like all of
Yeah.
these things could have been a story in and of themselves, but it's already 2 hours, and we gotta
Yeah, right.
we gotta tell the story of the McCaffrey brothers too.
Yeah, right. So like why even add that stuff?
brother story? Is this a brother kind of two brothers kind of mending their fences, or is it like this who done it, like detective, we got to find this arsonist story? Like, it's
Yep.
two really good premises. Just I don't know if they go together.
It would take another hour, maybe hour and a half to really.
Yeah.
It would have been a 3-hour movie.
Which
by then.
Yeah.
it was a
I would've
2-hour
watched it.
movie, but it felt like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah,
I would've
and they
watched it.
made a fucking sequel 4 years ago too.
Oh God.
Did they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Backdraft 2, 2019.
Oh yeah,
They-
they did.
they
Starring
tried
Howie
to-
Long.
Yeah, they tried
No,
to how long I doubt it.
I do.
Yeah,
I
Firestorm.
Howie Long in that one?
I
Howie Long was in
constantly
that,
get
wasn't
this
he?
confused with that fucking movie. Firestorm, that might be one. Hey, you guys watch out. I might be throwing that into
That's
the
a
mix one
great
day.
movie.
Firestorm, 1998, Howie Long, and then he realized he wasn't an actor and went back to calling football.
Yeah.
but Backdraft was tried to do the Top Gun move just a few years too early than Top Gun. The 40-year sequel or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, let's dip back into that well.
Yeah, bring it back, man. We need a Backdraft 3.
Backdraft 2.
Bring it all together. All right, let's get into some awards. So, like, we invented one last week, based on Demolition Man, Simon Phoenix, with his crappy one-liners. Worst line in the movie, the Simon Phoenix Award. I guess top nominations right now was it? Hey kid, I think I got a problem here.
Yep, that one's up there, man.
I think of one that kind
I
of
want to
stood
vote.
out.
Yeah, I want to vote in way early in the movie when Brian goes to visit Steven's kid and wife, thinking they're still together, and Steven's kid sitting in the front yard, and he walks up to him.
Yeah.
And he's like,
that's
"Hey
a
kid,
bad
you
one.
remember me?" And then
And
he
then he
pulls out
does
like this little
something.
fake hand puppet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We don't need no
thing.
spinach.
We don't need no spinach. And the
Spinach.
kid's just like,
There's no exposition on that. You don't know what the hell
Yeah.
he's talking about. And then the
No, it
kid
doesn't
runs
clear up.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's completely unclear. Yeah.
because
It's like Ron
if,
Howard's fever dream.
if a stranger came up to me and started talking to me, I was like, I don't know you. I haven't seen you in 6 years,
Stranger.
Uncle Brian.
I'd run in the house. I'd run right in the house.
Yep, I would do just like that kid. I would hope. I would hope every kid would, because that's weird. It's a weird thing.
That's what I'm teaching my kids
Scott
to do.
Glenn, right before he died, him saying that he kept repeating the whole, "They're killing firefighters for money.
Yeah, they're killing our friends for money.
They're killing our
What do you
friends
think
for
I
money."
should do?
Yeah,
The
he's
quote.
trying to sell it. It didn't.
Dude, the
Probably
whole
the quote.
twinkle The whole twinkle in the eye as your career fade away. I hated that.
They
I
didn't
hated
need
that
that
bring
scene at
back at
all.
the end.
They did not need that
Yeah.
at all.
But at the very end, he kind of blew it because he added on to it, like saying something like it's going into overdrive or something like that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, man, like this.
Yeah, like so you took a line from the start of the early in the movie that the bad guy said to the brother, and I don't even remember him being there to hear it. He might have been, and then when they finally put the papers to the bad guy, he says it back to him, but then he adds, like, you see that twinkle in your eye? That's the light of your career going out and stuff, something like that.
Yeah.
And then something that's totally unrelated to that phrase, and it's just going into overdrive. What?
What?
Like,
Do you
we're
think the
shifting
writer
gears.
was sitting there at the typewriter in 1990, like typing that out and thinking it was really good and he was proud of it?
Was there a
Full
writer
circle.
strike during this movie?
Yes, this is going to get me an Oscar. And turns out the fire was better than his line.
Mhm.
I think the you go we go or something like that. I think one of the firefighters said that, and then they say it again later on in the movie.
Kurt Russell's.
they say it like
twice.
3
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, you go, we go.
But that was good.
That was a good one.
You got the jaws,
We're
the jowl jiggle, and
I think it's just. I think we got a problem here. I think that's the best.
I think it is. I think that's got to be like.
All right, we'll give it to
Donnie,
him.
if you could go back in your career and add that to your repertoire, would you do it?
Oh hell yeah!
I could probably
tried.
take it into the
I
probably
tried
gonna
my
take it
face.
into the next level.
Yeah.
Face just
I
won't
tried
do.
my face. Always tried to get the Tom Cruise chewing on my emotions and the Kurt Russell jowl jiggle. My face is just too thin for it all.
I think he just
Jowl
bites the
jiggle.
inside of his cheek.
Just
Just grabs the
gnawing on
insides
it.
of your mouth, your cheek, gnawed on it.
All of us
Well,
trying to do it right now.
Ow, that hurts. Ouch.
He does it a lot, and he does it a lot in that movie, Soldier.
Does he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He also gave
That's exactly what I thought the whole time.
and he also like at the
Odd.
at the end of the movie,
Odd.
the end of the movie where he's hanging from the catwalk and he's holding on to Axe, and Brian yells out to him like, "Steven!" And he just kind of like looks and then falls.
Oh.
He does the same thing in Soldier. He like relives this movie in Soldier.
Same haircut. Same haircut.
Another really bad, another horrible line in that same scene. The whole third act was garbage, but where the hose is flying around on the string, spraying water everywhere. He's like, "I'm going for the hose."
Going for the hose,
and then Kurt Russell's like, "That's my brother right there."
He's my brother.
And then,
damn it.
Yeah,
I like that he.
Yeah.
I like that he threw the
like
fire
fire
extinguisher grenade. And
like a grenade. Yeah, he popped the top off of it. That's not how that works.
Spit it off.
Also, did he do anything with that hose? He got it and he sprayed it around a bunch. But
he
did
played Charlie's Angels.
It was already doing that.
It was doing exactly what he did, except he put himself in danger.
It was like
because the guys came in the other way. They came in a different. So what the
Y'all
fuck?
ruining the whole freaking movie.
No, guys, like, all right. So he gets a hold. He gets a hold of the hose.
Shit.
Wait. All right. His training had to been the worst training between the canister grenade.
He never graduated. He was a cadet the entire movie.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me get to this. When he did get the hose, he spends the next. This is why his brother died, by the way. He spends the next.
Damn.
He spends the next 15 minutes acting like Charlie's Angels, James Bond, like bouncing behind corners and shooting.
Yeah. Like it's
He's playing Gears of War with a fire hose.
Like fucking Moonraker.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight
my
up, man.
brother, god damn it.
That's my brother, god damn it. Look at him.
There you go. That's another good line. In the ambulance on the way out, Kurt Russell says to him, "Who's your brother?" You are.
That's creepy.
And
And he's also his dad. He could have said, "Who's your daddy?" and
Who's
he
your
would have been
daddy?
his daddy
That's
with a
true.
mustache.
Missed
don't know.
opportunity.
Yeah,
Just-
that's what I.
Classic.
All right, so we got the Simon Phoenix Award. I think we're just
Oh.
gonna go ahead and give it to the. I got a problem here, kid. And then I think for this movie, we need our next award we need to make up is maybe called the McCaffrey Special, and it's really like cheesy. How'd you get laid? Kind of maneuver there. And would you say Brian outdid himself on the McCaffrey Special, or Steven?
I
Coming
think
back
Steven's pity fuck was a little bit sadder. It was
Yeah.
a little
Dude,
bit
I don't
worse.
know.
And the twin
Brian
boy.
was crushing puss.
Yeah, Brian was getting it. Steven
was
was just
getting
like,
it.
I'm
Yeah.
sad, and they
I
wouldn't
live
fuck
in
on
a
a twin
boat.
bed.
How can you
Yeah.
come over here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck my ex-wife because my kid doesn't
Then
know
I'm
how to make breakfast. I
He
don't
doesn't
know.
know how to make eggs, so
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part. Is like the next morning, like he comes downstairs or she comes downstairs. He's in the kitchen with the kid. Kid's like dumping everything in the refrigerator on the skillet.
Just
You
wasting
got
food.
jelly, eggshells. Yeah, just wasting food. And he's like
setting the fire.
thinking like, yeah, he's thinking he's got his life back together. And,
Daddy's back.
Yeah, I got my
yeah,
daddy.
daddy's back and stuff. And then like she
Yeah.
walks in and she's
You
like,
gotta
"We're making you
go."
breakfast." Yeah, kid's like, "We're making you breakfast, mama." And mom's like, "Hold on, let me kick your dad out first."
Yeah,
This is a pig
and that
fuck.
is, if you didn't catch it, that is literally the last time he sees his son. Is when his kid's damn near burning the fucking house down, and then he
shit.
dies.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's messed up, man. There's a lot of messed up stuff in this movie. It's just
Yeah, it's
sad
Yeah.
stuff.
It's
Who would have
So-
known that a story about a bunch of dead firefighters would be so fucking sad?
Who knew?
All right. So you think so
Billy
Brian
Baldwin
won-
crushing puss. McCaffrey.
All right, McCaffrey special.
McCaffrey.
McGaffrey or whatever their name is. Whichever one's more Chicago-y.
McCaffrey.
All right. All that being said, I know we razz this movie for a solid hour now. Starting with Coach. How many 1 out of 5? How many backdrafts? How many
How many fire hydrants?
yeah,
How many
hydrants?
loose fire hoses would you
There you
give
go.
this? Loose
fire
ass
hoses.
fire
How
hoses.
many limp hoses would you give this movie?
Out
Wild
of
hose.
5? Out of 5, I'd give it probably give it a 3.
Explain yourself.
I liked it. It was kind of a mess of a movie, but there were some parts that I did enjoy. But yeah, it was kind of like I said, 2 movies. It was like, okay, this is a two brother firefighter type movie, and then it completely changes gears midway through. I was like, all right, like I have to switch my mindset. Okay, then it goes back to the brother. Then it goes back to the investigative stuff. So, it's kind of a mess of a script. Probably, I bet you had a lot of rewrites. If I was guessing, yeah,
Agreed.
yeah.
All right.
So-
Would you watch it again?
I think I would watch it again just to see. Like, I bet you there's a lot of stuff that I missed on the first watch because I was kind of falling asleep halfway through it last night.
Like how they made the fire.
No, I caught that part.
didn't think-
I caught that part because he had he played
Put
the
the
prank
lid.
on the kid.
Put the lid.
Yeah, he's like, hey, open the lid. Jesus. That's how he did it, my boy. That's how he did it. The magnesium.
The magnesium.
Yeah.
All right, Evan. How many loose hoses you giving this movie?
I'm right in that same range. I think it's going to be 3, at most 3.5. Like I said, this movie sucks, but I kind of love movies that suck. This movie is not good,
2 for 2.
but I just think that I think it's great how shitty it is. Absolutely, I would watch it again. I'll probably watch it again within the next year or so, just to prep myself because I got to catch up on Backdraft too. and remind myself that this is not Howie Long's Firestorm or whatever the fuck that movie is called.
All right, Mark. How many loose hoses you giving this movie?
I'm gonna say a solid two hoses. No,
No,
Two.
you're raking,
it's
man.
okay. It's all right. It's a high budget, made for TV movie, kind of straight to DVD kind of thing. That's how I got it. That's how I feel. I would watch it again if, like, I woke up on the couch and it was on.
Couldn't find the remote. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
It's on
If the remote was in the crack of the couch or the other
Couldn't
side of the
figure
room,
out
and I
how to
could see
Stare
the
down at the
remote.
other end of the coffee table.
Yeah.
If you wake up right at the scene where Billy Baldwin's getting his nipples sucked on, then you might as well leave it
Yeah.
on at that point.
Yeah. It's those steely blue eyes that do it. They keep me tuned in.
All right,
I don't know.
PJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, PJ.
Growing up, we had a few VHS tapes with movies that were recorded on them. Our parents do is they just throw them in the VHS player. I had this one and Robin Hood on the same VHS.
Fuck
So I've
yes.
watched this movie so many times.
Kevin Costner?
It was a
Kevin
it was a
Costner, not
solid
Disney,
four.
right?
Fuck
Before we
yeah.
had this
Fuck yeah.
therapy session, I had it at a solid 4.5. I'm going with a 3.5 now. Y'all convinced
You don't want
me.
to stick to your.
It's
You
a
don't want to
shitty
stick to
movie.
your guns.
No, I'm convinced it's not that good. But I could watch it anytime that it's on TV and not even think about changing. I mean, I'm going to watch this movie today.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be good to want to watch it. Like I said, I love terrible movies, and this is one of those.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with a 3 just because you're right. It's like it failed to truly establish its identity of being either like about the brothers and they're living the fireman lifestyle and code or whatever, and then the investigative movie side of things. So like just the failing to establish its identity was the sinker on me. Other than that, like I think all the acting was great. The character, I like the characters in the movie. They were great, and the special effects, everything else, just fell apart on delivering the story. If it had another hour, which I doubt a lot of people wouldn't watch, but I would watch a 3-hour backdraft that actually got to flesh out some of this stuff.
The director
Scorsese did it.
Yeah, it went for the kitchen sink approach on stories, man. It just threw too much at it.
It's too much.
But so that gets 3 loose hoses for me.
That's an average of 3. I did the math.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Got some math going up in here.
Solid average.
All right. No, I looked for Jack Black in this movie.
Not in
I
this
didn't
one.
see him.
Not in this one.
But in kind of like doing some half-assed research on the thing, I Googled the cast, and who is this guy? Val Kilmer. Like, is he in it? I didn't finish Googling it, so I don't know. But he's on the webpage.
I don't
Where
think
was
so.
Page.
Where was Clint Howard?
He was the
The coroner.
mortuary assistant guy, the guy who was like with the burned bodies. That's Clint Howard.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
That was
He wasn't
actually
in there
one of my.
long.
That was one of one of my favorite scenes because he has to hold the corpse and he's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, he's not selling you insurance. Like, take it easy."
Oh God, yeah, we didn't even talk about this at the end of
Yeah,
that
we missed
scene
that
when he's holding the body. Does the body like breathe at him or something? There's some weird noise.
Yeah, there's an air set. Yeah, the air trapped in
Farts.
the body comes out.
Okay,
Fart.
yeah, because basically he had a little
farted.
mouth fart, and
Yeah,
it
it just
freaked
let
Billy
out
Baldwin out.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure
Mark-
it was just Ron Howard.
Mark,
Yeah.
is that true to story? Has that really happened to corpses?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
fart?
You release a lot of gases when you die. Yes.
There we go.
Good to know.
Ron Howard
It
got that
happens.
scene
I've seen
correct.
it. I've seen it.
And we didn't really
It
get
really
into we didn't really get into how like Ron Howard puts Clint Howard in all his movies. You know, there's just so much you can do in a 1-hour podcast, but
I would do it. I would put my idiot brother in a movie if I made it. Give him some shitty role. Why not?
I put my idiot brother in a podcast.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Oh man.
Just kidding.
All right. Well, there's a lot of stuff. Honestly, I like the movie, but
Yeah, it's not a terrible movie.
I haven't watched that movie since one day in 1990 something on TNT. And rewatching it, kind of.
I was happy to see that it's on Netflix. Good for them.
Yeah,
Bro, they
so we're
added it
just
like a week after I watched it.
Oh, really?
okay.
Did you
they
buy
added
it?
Probably.
Yep.